Hey, how's it going, folks? Well, welcome to Wrestling News Today here on Heel by Nature, heelbynature.com, on YouTube, Stitcher, Spotify, Podbean, and all those great podcasting apps. Let's talk about today's wrestling news. I guess one of the bigger things was tonight's Wednesday Night Wars. We saw NXT's New Year's Evil going head-to-head with New Year's Smash with AEW, and the big story coming out of AEW's event has to be that Bullet Club reunion. At the end of the show, we saw Kenny Omega successfully defend the AEW Championship against Rey Fenix. After the match, we saw Jon Moxley make his way to the ring to kind of save Rey Fenix from getting a beat down, hit him with that barbed wire baseball bat. Then from nowhere, the Good Brothers have arrived in AEW, obviously intensifying this, collaboration, this partnership, whatever you want to call it, between AEW and Impact Wrestling. The Good Brothers arrived, attacked Moxley. Then from there, members of the AEW roster came out, tried to get some order from all the chaos that was going on in the ring. And then we saw the Young Bucks trying to reason with Kenny Omega and the Good Brothers. And basically what happened is, by the end of the night, we see all members put up that too sweet signal. And we see, I guess, a bit of a Bullet Club reunion closing out AEW Dynamite New Year Smash. What does this mean now? Well, we do know that Kenny Omega and the Good Brothers will be teaming up at Impact's Hard to Kill against the Motor City Machine Guns and Rich Swann. Whether that means the Good Brothers appear on next week's episode, I guess we'll just have to wait and see. And whether we're going to have a bit of a Bullet Club stable within AEW and Impact going back and forth. We'll see how this relationship does blossom. But coming off the event, that is something that a lot of people are talking about. On the NXT side, the WWE side, we did see a good match between Finn Balor and Kyle O'Reilly. That was the main event. They did have a bit of an overrun. As far as Kyle O'Reilly, there was a bit of an incident in terms of him possibly being injured. Fightful Select does report that during both the commercial breaks and immediately after the match with Finn Balor, doctors and trainers were checking on Kyle O'Reilly. He managed to finish the match. So we don't have an update yet. We'll let you know tomorrow if there is an update there. And WWE also announced their next NXT TakeOver, which will be on Valentine's Day, February 14th. And no matches have yet to be announced, but it would be cool if they brought back the whole St. Valentine's Day Massacre, put it under the NXT brand, a throwback to an old WWE pay-per-view. Also announced Women's Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic is coming in the future. No word on if it's going to start before NXT TakeOver or during or after. It was announced tonight that it is coming soon. So that is an interesting thing there with NXT having the men's Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic, which starts next week, and then having the women's one, the inaugural one. One match that that didn't happen during tonight's broadcast was the Fight Pit match between Tommaso Ciampa and Timothy Thatcher. That was supposed to take place earlier in the day. WWE just stopped advertising it. They took it off WWE.com. They stopped making tweets about it. And people started thinking, hey, something is up with this match. Why is it canceled? Well, William Regal did announce prior to the NXT broadcast that Timothy Thatcher did suffer a minor injury, and that's the reason why the match isn't happening. Don't know exactly what's going on with an injury, but the match didn't occur, and I guess it will occur sometime in the future, and I guess we'll just have to wait and see on that one. Another thing tonight, we did see Damian Priest lose to Killer Kross, or Karrion Kross, I should say, and there is talk that Damian Priest might actually be the next member of the NXT roster to join the main roster, Raw or SmackDown. So there's a bit of a story here. Earlier today, WrestleVotes did reveal that WWE did have a plan to bring somebody from NXT onto SmackDown last Friday, and it was supposed to be during the Kevin Owens, Jey Uso, and Roman Reigns segment. The name was not mentioned who it was. All that we did know is it was somebody who was appearing at the New Year's Evil event. Afterwards, Fightful Select did report that backstage sources did reveal that as of earlier this week, Damian Priest is scheduled for a main roster call-up. Whether or not these two stories interact with each other, whether or not it was Damian Priest last week, we don't know. All we know is that somebody from NXT was supposed to be part of SmackDown last week. They did rewrite that segment, didn't appear, and we do know that Damian Priest is somebody who's slated to join the main roster. Would be interesting to see whether or not they do actually put him onto SmackDown and do inject him into that storyline with Roman Reigns, Jey Uso, and Kevin Owens. And one last thing here before we get going, also from Fightful Select, is Ethan Page. He is off, out of contract with Impact Wrestling. His deal did expire, and he does have a match scheduled for Impact Hard to Kill. Some people are wondering, how is he appearing there? He has a match against his alter ego, the Karate Man. Well, that match was actually pre-taped back in November, so he won't actually be appearing at the Hard to Kill tapings, which will be taped while they are doing television tapings. They re-recorded that match back in November at a different tapings, so that match will air during Hard to Kill, but he won't actually be at the tapings as he is a free agent. That being said, that's all the news for today, the major news. WrestlingNewsToday.com. You can listen to all the episodes here on YouTube, or if you are listening on your favorite podcast app, you can continue every day. And as always, all the latest news is at HealByNature.com.